And I hope we're live. Are we live? Freddie Mac, are we live? Freddie Mac's not live.
Freddie Mac
Jeffrey,
I
muted.
feel like we're alive.
there
Now
we go.
I'll turn back on.
There we go.
Stupid
All right.
technology.
Hey, you know what? It's always a struggle, but hey, we're kids, right? We're at the kids' table, and technology is a struggle. Hello, everybody. We are back, back at our homes tonight. We've got Jeff sitting at the table. Freddie Mac, first time appearance from Frank Tank Radio, who
What
was
is up?
also down at Hamcation with me, and I've got some feelers out to some other people that were there, so hopefully they'll in the next hour drop in and out, and we'll have a great conversation. Real quick in the chat, anybody in the chat were you guys at Hamcation? I don't know who all's in there right now, so let us know in the chat if you're there.
Man,
Uh,
Hamcation was fun this
it
year.
it was fun. It was absolutely fun, and I think one thing that I said a while back, ham, well, not big ones like this, but your small local ham fests, they're not drawing the people. Unfortunately, they're not drawing in big vendors and stuff like that. But there's still a large social element to ham fests, and ones like Hamcation, Hamvention, Huntsville. There's one. Did you Tank? Did you meet the lady that was at the Pona meetup? She was at one in, I think it was from South Carolina, North Carolina.
S-
Was there, and she says that their ham fest is about the same size as Huntsville. I'm
She
interested
was,
in looking.
yeah, she was talking to me about it, but I can't go to anymore. I'm already tapped out on my PTO time. Um,
Well, you got to learn, Frank. You got to learn how to schedule work from home in a remote state for the weekend,
uh,
of course.
can't really do that. Depends on the project.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
Can't
understand sometimes you
can't
have to have
really
access
do
local
that.
resources.
I would love to do that, and during the big scare that we had a long time ago, I escaped a number of times and did that when I was able to. But now I gotta be in the office because I have to work with local hardware.
Oh man, I
That's
tell you what,
horrible.
Boo.
There you go.
nothing worse than having to work with local hardware.
Yeah,
hmm
especially when it's broken all the time.
Talk
Mike,
about
there's a link in the chat if you want to go ahead and jump in.
talk about broken. My Google Drive's not syncing right now.
What? Man,
Yeah,
need
I
my
lost the
drive.
icon,
Uh oh.
and I don't want to open up Resolve because that's how I sync the database. So I'm just gonna kill it. Kill it. It's like 4 times in this thing. I know this is not very kid table round table talk, but
I'm getting
what
started.
talk did you happen to talk about or talk to the Boy Scout guys?
I did not know.
Oh,
Did you
Is
talk
there a
about their
sto-
new name change?
which one? Is there a story to share, Frank?
at this Hamfest, they have it's more than just the Boy Scout table itself. It is they have a Boy Scout group that comes every year, and this new kids filtered every year, and they teach them about amateur radio, and it's like a crash course in amateur radio, and then they take them all to get a test. And I think they said they had about 4 or 5 kids pass out of what they had there to
Cool.
get their amateur radio license.
Awesome.
I talked to them last year about
Mhm.
it. I didn't get them on. I wanted to this year kind of to do like full like follow them around all day Saturday and show what's going on in that. However, I failed to sync up with him on Friday, and I just didn't want to like randomly be there when all the kids show up Saturday. So I kind of I kind of stayed away. But next year I talked to them. I'm definitely going to be with them majority of the day Saturday as these kids go through all the learning courses, and they had several demonstrations for them, including satellites and other things.
That's awesome. I know at one point when I was walking around the backside there in the ARRL section, there was, I'm going to say, probably about 20 scouts that were um, sitting there listening to a presentation. So I'm assuming that was part of it.
Hmm.
Asking because change, is it just Scouts? And actually, it is Scouts BSA now. So they've dropped the Boy Scouts, and what they have done is that they've created both boys troops and girls troops. So there's still independent units. A lot of times it's could be a single chartering organization if they've got enough, but they do not have co-ed troops. Now they still have for explorers, veteran scouting. Those are co-ed, but those are a little bit different. Those are, I believe, 14 to 21 on the age range.
According to the news, it's saying it is the official name change is Scouting America.
Well, then that must have changed again. So
This was the few days ago I saw this, and I just looked it up again to make sure I was right. I said it's Scouts America, but it's Scouting America.
Hmm.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's been a couple of years since I've actually been involved. I stepped away from my troop a little bit ago. I still I'm assuming my stuff is still valid. I hope it is. But I'm a I've been a merit badge counselor for rifle, pistol, and shotgun for a number of years, where I went through the training, and it's one of those three merit badges. There's only a small number of merit badges in scouting that actually require you to have some form of external licensure, and that is one of them from the safety aspect. So you actually have to attend and become a NRA certified instructor to be able to teach those. So they make a little bit of an investment in you. I made an investment in myself, and so we there's a group of us that will get together and go out and spend a Saturday, and we'll either do it with a large troop, or sometimes two or three troops will get together and do some kind of a shooting camp out where we can do those. So cool.
Sounds like fun.
Nick, Chris is in the house.
What is up? Other than that, the Boy Scouts were doing their badge at Orlando. They were going through and laminating everyone's passes for them. But since we already had a little laminate holder, I didn't do it this year. Last year, when we were in, where were we? Um, 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 was the Dayton after Heil passed. They were passing out purple lanyards,
Yes.
Oh.
and I was like, "Yep, I am going to just I'm going to pay for the whole process, but just give me a lanyard. Here's the $5. I just want the lanyard."
I think somebody also had purple ribbons too, that they were maybe, I think maybe it was Icom that was giving away purple ribbons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got that.
Well, good stuff. So Frank, any exciting new things that you saw at Hamcation?
Just in general.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Something that popped out at you.
Well,
So-
we had showcased on the Icon booth the new 7760
Yeah.
or 7766, 7760. One of the two.
Now, did
I do
Rainovac
worse at
actually
numbers.
did Rainovac actually let you touch it?
Yes, it was on display. You could turn all the knobs.
But I mean, did he let you actually touch it?
Well, there was no question of letting. It was just there. I just
Oh,
fingered everything.
okay. Well,
Was it powered on?
Yes, it was.
Oh, sweet.
It was powered on. You can thumb through it. I don't think it was transmittable, but you can test it out, touch it, because I think it already pre-orders and some have already started shipping. So
Yes.
Nice.
That's in full production. Now the Kenwood was behind glass. The new Kenwood Mobile. I don't remember its number.
I think
think
it's at
that's-
the house
70
tonight.
It was a mock
7250. Yeah, it was another mock-up.
Mhm.
500, I want to say.
I saw a video today about it. I think it was Jason 2.0. I
I'm
don't
working on my
remember.
interview right now.
It's nice that it sounds like it's gonna be a nice radio, but I'm surprised they've already done Huntsville. I think it was Huntsville, and now Hamcation with that mock-up. Actually, I don't even think they had the mock-up. I think they had
No.
a
The
plastic
Huntsville,
box.
the plastic box was first shown at Tokyo Hamfest. This is the
That's what it
first
was,
time
yeah.
in the U.S. this box has been shown. It is a cleaner mock-up. I kind of
Yeah.
wanted Paul's opinion on it because I think
So
over
is
at
it?
the Tokyo, it was just 3D printed and
Yeah.
a backlit little thing.
Was
Mhm.
it? Is this truly a mock-up, or was it an actual radio that was under glass? Because
They even
my
said
understanding,
A lot of people said it's a mock-up because none of the cords were connected and the screen was lit in such a way that it didn't look like you can turn the knobs. But nothing's. They might have had another
I
one underneath
I
there. I don't know.
I refuse to go in a Kenwood booth because I swear if I go in there, I'll spend money. So I just looked at it from a distance. But in all, usually when they're under glass like that, they're just not type accepted radios yet, so they can't legally let people
Exactly. That's
what's on display. So
Yaesu kind of had the same thing. They have two radios coming out. One they did show at the Tokyo Hamfest, the counterpart to the IC705.
Mhm.
However, it's still in the process of type acceptance, and they didn't. And John Crook said they just did not want to have it under glass. They were waiting for it. Everyone's with their hands on.
yeah.
But I was like, but at
Did
least
did
show us the thing. We want to see the
did he
thing.
did he say that it would be available for public consumption by Dayton, or is
Again,
that still up in
they,
the air?
they were
Waiting
all
for it?
cagey about a date, but
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think I think
That's salespeople.
the optimistic thing would be Dayton.
I'm going to say 2026. Kenwood does not get in a hurry about anything. D75
So
took a lot longer to come out than they anticipated.
yeah. So Chris, they do allow us with a media pass. They do allow us to come in before and after the show, and actually we're in there day before to do those things. Generally, though, the vendors are still setting up sometimes, and it's generally understood that by being in there the day before, we're not going to bother them if they've got stuff to do. So it's but I haven't, Frank, have you met anybody that hasn't been like, we don't want to talk to you? I have never been anybody like that.
Well, like absolutely, just wave you off. Like no,
Yeah.
don't talk. I had people willing to talk to me at the booth, but I said, and we have this great conversation and we get in depth about the product. And I'm like, I know this guy's knowledgeable, so if I put him on camera and he can hold up the conversation, I'm like, great. Can I get you on camera? Just talk about what we just did. No.
Thanks for
This is
wasting
why
my
you need to
time.
have secret. You need to have secret video.
No. Because I come up, it's very obvious. I have my gimbal, my camera. This is the
Oh, yeah.
Xbox controller, so they know what I'm doing. So if I just go blue and look at them, it's very obvious that I start holding the mic closer and closer to them, and I throw it at them.
Yeah,
What's
there you
over
go.
there? Clip.
So I see Carlos in the chat. Carlos, the link to the back room is in the Discord if you're interested.
So
But did you talk to the Eris group? That is Amateur Radio ISS.
I did not. I did not talk to
I'm
them.
gonna flip the table because this is
flip it.
Do
flip
it.
that
Do it.
table.
Come on. Flip it.
Speak your piece, Frank.
Flip it good.
Hey, just do me a favor before you do it. Let me know so I can solo you. Right.
Hold on.
Got to get some good. We got to get some good YouTube content.
It's what I'm saying.
Here it is.
Frank,
Blah.
flip
I am showing you. I just need a transition. Go ahead and embiggen me, sir. The right screen. Bam! I
hang on.
stole that from
There you go.
yeah. This is from my video that we talk about. Where's that coming from? I don't know. Anyways, this is the video I did with them talking about the ARISS Pharma 2 mission.
Oh, hang on.
Okay,
Oh,
that's where that thing
Somebody-
is.
Where'd you go?
That's your overlay.
talk about
The
the code.
Pharma 2 mission is a SpaceX private launch with a amateur radio operator in astronaut on the craft, and ICOM. That's why Ray's over here. Is donating a IC 705, 7300, it's a 705, and they're going to transmit slow scan TV. And a part of that, I don't know if I have the screenshot. Blah, no, I don't have it. Anyways, a part of that is there. You can unbiggen me. I will go ahead. Make me a mod so I could drop that link to everyone here. They're going to, with the slow scan images, there are 3 sets of images and 4 pieces to each image where you got to listen for all 4 of those sets and capture them, put them together, and upload them for a contest that they're doing. And it's pretty awesome, and I can't wait to participate. And can I post the link?
Hang on.
It looks like it went, I don't know.
No.
Here is.
I had to switch. Sorry, I had to switch counts there.
Oh yeah.
I don't see you in here, Frank.
Tank Radio.
Oh, something, Frank. Say something in the chat so we can see you.
I see him in there.
It probably filtered out the other 2 because they were links.
Yeah, probably did.
But anyways, all
Wait,
the
I think I
information's
can
in
do it.
that live stream that I did. And there's the Tank Radio thing. Or
Nice.
interview I did with them. I also got Ray on camera talking about it, which is very rare for him to talk about something that's not kind of icon. And
There you go. You've been made a mod now.
sweet. Now I could do
All right.
this, right?
Problem solved.
No. Yes.
You got the wrench, buddy.
They already popped up saying I'm spamming the channel.
Nightbot will get on your butt now. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Let me make that nice. Air ISS interview farm 2. It is a awesome thing that they're doing. I wish that interview took off more. I'm looking at the stats and it was like 200 people. I don't know.
Did
The
you
algorithm
post it to X?
giveth, and the algorithm taketh away.
That is for sure.
This is interesting. Everyone
says.
I'm going on a little rant here.
Okay.
Can I go on a rant here?
You missed mine
Yeah.
earlier.
Watch your language.
Oh, but it'll be clean.
Okay.
Everyone in amateur radio wants to know how to get the youth involved in amateur radio. Hence the roundtable. Hence, people asking that question in every ARRL forum. There's 2 things I hear at every ARRL forum: how do we get the youth involved, and how can we capture more YouTubers? Right
Capture
here.
more YouTubers.
Yes, YouTubers' attentions that circles back to get the more youth involved because the youth are watching more YouTube. You see how that connects?
Yeah.
And how to get more likable personalities. And there was another one. I'm like, I'm creating that content. We're creating that content. And anytime something comes up talking about the youth or talking about these books that explain amateur radio and where's the other one? There was a better one. Here it is. Explain amateur radio and what amateur radio is about. Then everyone clicks away. This is how you get youth involved. This is how you kind of explain the concepts to them, and then no one consumes the content. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Struggle, to say the very least. It's hard to get.
Probably need to make.
I can
YouTube
hold my own
Shorts.
against Molson and his rants.
Hey, I think there's somebody in the back room.
Sweet.
I don't know. You ready?
What do you mean you're ready? It's usually you're ready for me. I come on. Take
All right.
radio.
Dark
Yeah,
red.
Okay.
there you go.
What happened to my video?
Carlos, you there?
Did my video?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Where'd
You
you put
tell
it?
us.
Hello.
Hey,
Love it,
turn it
Joey.
on.
We can hear
Are you
you.
PG?
We cannot see you.
Are you PG?
Peekaboo.
Mm-hmm.
Peekaboo.
Entered into a zone of sight and sound without the sight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Mm.
Well, let's do away with
Are
this
you in the
virtual
cone of
background and
silence?
see if that solves the problem.
Did you hit that little thing that looks like a camera?
I
Maybe
did.
try turning it off and back on again.
Have you done a factory reset yet?
Oh, I see what happened.
There we go.
Uh,
I
Carlos
told the
in the
browser to
office.
use that camera, but it was trying to use that camera, which is closed up. That explains the black screen.
Ah, that would do it.
oh, there you go.
So how are you, man?
How are you fellas doing this evening?
Wow.
Oh, doing
Chilling
dandy.
like a villain.
Bueller?
Yep.
Bueller?
Bueller.
Carlos, we missed you. We missed you at Hamcation, buddy.
Man, I really wanted to
It
go.
was awesome jumping
work
weather.
Absolutely. Oh, dude. And the thing is, the drop zone is like a half hour away. It would have been perfect to just make such as life. Maybe next year, if I'm lucky. But I was watching everybody's streams and everybody's uploads, and it looked like everybody was having a good time. It looked like you guys had a lot of really great content.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there, I haven't. Size wise, how does it compare to Huntsville?
Double, triple.
Yeah.
Wow.
Double, triple. So about,
the whole floor. So the whole floor, in Huntsville, they have for both the vendors and the swap meet areas. That's pretty much the size. I may be embiggening a little bit, but the size of the whole vendor building itself. Then there's a second building that they have all the prizes in there. There's a kind of a outdoor garage area that's for swaps, and then there's a whole swap area that is pretty much the same size as just the Huntsville floor.
Wow.
So
It's
there's a
pretty
lot.
big. I would say, and I don't know the exact numbers of attendance versus vendors and stuff, but I would say it's probably about 2/3, at least 2/3 to 3/4 the size of Dayton. So it's not bad. It is definitely
that
worth
is
going
huge.
down there, and
Mm-hmm.
so there's new. One of the things we had talked about earlier is that a lot of these small ham fests are really suffering because you don't get new vendors in there, right? Still a big social aspect to the ham fest, but this is definitely one that draws in new vendors. You've got the swaps and stuff like that. But the real big thing is the number of people that show up just for the social aspect of the thing. And Frank and I, along with a big group of people, camped out together, and we had a great time. So not only was the ham fest of fun, but then all the fellowship and stuff that we had after the ham fest. Around the pseudo campfire, since it was Florida and it wasn't that cold out.
Campfire.
I mean,
Although somebody did bring a campfire in a tin can.
Kyle. No, Kyle didn't make it this year.
Kyle was not there.
Yeah, Kyle wasn't
No.
there this year, but
You know how many people?
No, but Kyle has those.
Yes,
but
he
you know
does.
it's like, think of a cookie tin, right? Like a round,
Oh yeah.
yay thick, and then it's got like tea light candles in it or something. I don't know what it was, but but it was to create the ambiance. It wasn't for
The
heat.
one that Cal has is
Purely
an ammo
for
can.
visual
It's like a
effect.
50 cal ammo can. And
Yeah,
he
no, those
actually,
are pretty popular in the overlanding community.
yeah.
Yeah, he made it
Yeah, he
after
did a
we
video.
saw at More Expo.
Yeah, it's
He did a
Yeah.
video on that, I believe.
Yeah. They were selling those at More Expo, and he bought one of the kits.
I bought that kit for my brother and gave it to him as a birthday, and he cursed me because he spent like $150 getting that kit built.
Oh
Like,
no!
I don't have a bit that size. I need to buy this thing and then the paint and I need this other new tool now. And he just kept spending money. He's like, I hate you, Frank.
Boo-hoo, cry
Well,
me
but
a river.
inside
I
he
have
was
extra
really
tools,
glad to get
buddy.
new tools. Exactly.
Oh, it was the river rocks, the lava rocks. He had to buy 2 bags of lava rocks because the pipe wasn't buried all the way by it.
Uh-huh.
Which, you know what I told him to use instead of lava rocks?
What's that?
Spent brass.
Yeah,
I don't know why
it
not.
shouldn't melt.
Oh,
I
that'd
don't know
be
what's the
cool.
melting temperature of spent brass.
Yes.
What's
Spent
what's the
brass.
melting
I
temperature
don't
of
know.
brass?
Couple.
No idea.
I don't know. I really don't. That
Let me
one
ask
I don't know off the top of my
ChatGPT.
head, but it's high.
Hmm.
It's not steel, but
Okay.
it's in the 700 or 800
Yeah.
range, I think. I'm just
Yeah.
pulling that one out of my, out of the in the air.
1710 Fahrenheit,
You know, 1710 Fahrenheit. So
That's-
930 Celsius.
It might work.
That's plenty
It might.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think the burner off of a propane
Yeah. it
flame
won't get
is
that hot.
going to melt that.
No.
So he has a sonic cleaner. So I just dump all that brass in the cleaner. Make sure you get all the icky stuff out and throw it in there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What?
So lava rock is that expensive? I've never really went and bought any.
I don't know. I'm just quoting his numbers, but I was like, dude.
I think if you buy lava rock at the store for the purpose of sticking it in a grill or something like that, you're going to
Yeah.
probably pay a
Fire
pretty
pit.
penny. But if you bought it down at the landscaping store to use it as filler in your garden, it's probably pretty cheap.
A lot cheaper, I bet.
Yeah.
I can remember
Mhm.
driving through Arizona, New Mexico on I-40 years ago,
wait.
going to California and seeing these outcroppings of lava alongside the highway. Could you just drive out there and chip off a few pieces? It's
Mhm.
probably
Depends where it's
small.
at. If it's not protected, go for it.
I mean, why would they protect lava outcroppings? It's lava. I mean, it was for miles.
It might
You
be
could
in a
see it.
national. It might
Well,
be in a
yeah,
national park.
yeah, that could be
Yep.
a national park, totally.
If it's in a national park, it's 100% protected. If not,
You
go for it.
You go through the petrified forest, and they get all bent out of shape if you stop and pick up any petrified wood. They will
Mhm.
hunt you down.
Well, that's boring.
Oh,
I'm
You
telling
gotta
me,
know where to get it.
really,
I heard
the petrified wood black market.
what is that national park that you pick up stuff and it's perceived to be haunted? It's one of the battlefields in Alabama.
Ooh,
Uh, uh,
Don't know.
I don't
I
know.
I don't think I could.
I remember where.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't like going to those places, battlefields or anything. They weird me out.
They'll somber you down. That's for sure.
They are somber, and I really do love the somberness of those places, and just to see where the history happened, and to envision just being a part of one of the two armies there. It's just very humbling that we live in a society that is so peaceful at the moment.
Don,
You know, when
Don,
I was
I'd like to answer your question, Don. Sorry.
Go for it.
Answering Don's question is simple. The channel's young, the channel's relatively new, and we need more exposure. So you fix that by telling everybody about the channel for us and spreading the word. It's that simple, right? Don, you're wondering why? There's the reason. It's a relatively new channel. It hasn't been around for very long. I don't know the numbers over there. I keep on looking over there for the info. But if you just take the channel link and spread it across the masses, we're going to have a bigger help us out, and we really appreciate it. Rant
Like,
over.
subscribe, and share the channel today.
Molson moment over.
Moment over.
that was a pretty mellow Molson moment there.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Carlos, didn't you do a thing recently?
A thing? What do you mean a
Or
thing?
A thing? Didn't you like jump out of a plane in Florida before Florida,
Georgia.
or was it Georgia?
Yes, I did. It was in northern Florida. Went down there. You guys familiar with Wayne Green? He's one of the teachers that is part of Teachers Institute, and the school that he teaches at is a private school that's is like homeschooled and something like that. I don't know the exact details, but
I'm
he had a class on
familiar.
STEM, and he asked me to come down, and it was basically, hey man, we got to figure something out. If you can help me like get my fuel covered, I can do this, but otherwise it's gonna be difficult. So he got together with a bunch of parents, covered my fuel, got me a place to stay, and
That's
my
awesome.
patrons paid for the jump, and it was lovely, man. It's able to jump after talking to those kids about all the science, technology, and parachuting. And it's one thing to be in the classroom and talk about it. It's another thing for me to show them in real life how it goes, and to stick a landing in front of them. Wayne's kid is this biggest smart aleck in the room, in that classroom, and you wouldn't know it. Wayne is a very mellow guy, but he was challenging how accurate I could be, and I'm like, tell you what, stand on that beach, and I'm going to look for you, and I'm going to land right in front of you. He dodged. If you watch that video, you see him stepping to the side, dodging because he thought I was going to hit him. I'm like, hey man, when I say I can land on a dime, I mean I can land on a dime.
It was interesting. I think it was the first time I've seen you actually land from an observer's perspective and not from your head cam.
Yeah, one of the mothers in the group. Oh my God, I can't remember her name right now. Anyhow, she got video of me landing, which is very novel for me because that's the first time I've had video of me landing where I can actually go, hey, can I use that? and that angle was really nice. I was able to insert it into the video and show the difference. There's one thing for me to be incoming, another thing for someone to show me coming in. Interesting, anyhow.
Mhm.
But yeah, with any luck, I'll be able to do more of those in the years to come. Right?
Yeah.
So Carlos, I am interested. I'd love to see if I can come out with you for a lot of those and be the on the ground guy, because I'm building my satellite station, and that should be built early this year. And we come out, and I'd be on the ground shooting the film and talking to the kids as you jump and irradiate you with all 50 watts that if I can. Uh,
Get extra points that way.
yeah.
I feel I'm getting well already just thinking about it. How many
Let's
do you
talk.
know?
Yeah, let's talk, because that'd
Cool.
be fun.
Guys.
I would like to do that.
I have a thing in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna jump. Thanks for the time. It's awesome to see you guys continuing this thing going, and those of you in the stream watching, there's 25 of you. Spread the word, please, and maybe next week we'll have 50. Right?
Exactly.
So
thank you.
7-3, fellas.
Yep.
Have a
All
good
right.
one, Carlos. Take care, buddy.
Thank you.
And he's gone.
See you guys.
And he's gone. Bye.
See ya. All right. Well, that was cool. That was cool that he could jump in. So Hamfests
Hamfest.
upcoming. Who's going to what? Jeff, you got anything going Hamfest going on in your area that you're going to be going to attending this year?
Well, there will be a ham fest here in Delaware, down in Georgetown. It's like the Sussex County Amateur Radio Club puts it on, but I do not go to it due to the fact that it is one of those small-time ham fests where by 10:30, everyone's tired after their lunch and ready for their after-lunch nap and start packing
10:30
up.
lunch, 10 o'clock
Yeah.
lunch then.
Yeah, it starts like 6:30 with all the people outside
Wow.
Oh,
selling
wow.
their wares, and then they have some vendors inside, and they actually had HRO down because we have an HRO here in Delaware. They came down for that, but that will be, I think, end of April. The last time I went down there for like 30 minutes. They were packing everything up. I'm like, all right, I'm gone, and did 2 photo activations on my way back up. I don't know. I probably won't go down again, but I'll probably do port activations on that day at least. I'm not into these small ham fests. It's the closest one, relatively closest one. Um, but I don't see anything worthwhile there like I would see at the three big ones, or even anything larger than the three big ones too.
Jeff,
Roger
your
that.
videos froze, buddy.
Awesome.
But we do have a nice smile.
You
so,
do. I mean, it's
Yes.
just you look so happy. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
You're still happy.
Yeah, I wasn't moving. I don't know if my mouth was moving, but I was. Yeah, Delaware's not too exciting. The Hamfests are not too exciting. So, I guess if you're doing something down there, it could be more exciting. But I'm just going down there to browse around and
Look for a
And-
deal.
Yeah.
no,
Are
not
you
really.
planning on going to Hamvention?
I would love to. It's the closest one to me. It'd be like an 8-hour drive.
Oh, what's
But
that?
the 8 hours is nothing. I've done not in a row, like 12-hour drives, but I have a certain situation where it's harder for me to do such a kind of thing. So, yeah, maybe one day. Who knows?
Well, if you ever do go, you won't regret it. The best
I
league
know.
I've ever
I
been.
am dying to go. Every time there's all the three big ones, I am jealous as all heck from seeing all these videos and stuff like that. It's like, damn, I really want to be there with these people and everything. And
Frank, are you
see
okay?
this stuff.
I'm laughing. Something not in context of this. My brother sent me a message, and it's hilarious, and I can't believe it happened.
It's a dirty message, isn't it? He sent me
No,
dirty messages.
no.
Don's calling you out, saying that there's a Emory Hamfest in April.
That'd be Emory, Texas.
I'm assuming since it's Don and
Oh,
Tank.
yeah, most likely.
Yeah, but there's yeah, again, John, that's like flying out Philly. It's going away for a period of time that is the problem. In my situation, might be different from most people
Yeah.
because I have no wedding ring on my fingers. So
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends. Sometimes it's a
Yeah.
bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. It depends on my state of mind.
There you go. There you go.
We can't say
But
that.
yeah, I have responsibilities that I just can't leave for a weekend. So there you go.
It's a 12.5-hour drive for me.
Wow.
But, like last year, I pulled the trailer up there. I stopped halfway between and took a nice long nap at a truck stop.
Yeah. For me to get to Florida, I flew, and I had to fly to Tampa instead of Orlando.
Yeah.
It was twice as much to fly to Orlando with a direct flight than it was to Tampa, and I'll take the hour. And I don't know, it's an hour and 15 minutes without traffic, and a little bit longer, depending on whatever crazy accident's going to happen. I did see a 6-car pileup, so there we go. I got that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
But fortunately they got all out of the way, and they were able to get the cars to keep going.
Were the crocodiles crossing the road?
No crocodiles this time. But the one thing that I was thinking about with Carlos. Carlos was about 2.5 hours north of me. If he wanted, I wouldn't mind, riding down. If he wanted to drive down there, him and I could ride together. I hate driving by myself, but I wouldn't mind riding with somebody or splitting the driving for something like that. Otherwise, I'm flying. Although the trip to Huntsville from here, that's about 8 hours, and that wasn't bad.
8 hours is a good drive that one person can do.
Yeah,
Definitely. I've done it multiple times. 8-hour drives.
Yeah.
It can be a pain, but
Nope. I'm over driving 8 hours. I will fly any day. Here's my 2 cents on driving versus flying. I love road trips. I love being on the road. I love doing that. However, if the point of driving is just to get to a destination and we're not stopping and enjoying the drive, or, ooh, what's that? Let's pull over.
Yeah.
No interest. Put me on a plane any day. If
Frank wants to stop at the biggest ball of yarn.
yes, I want to activate the ball of yarn.
Uh,
Will it tune
Frank
up?
Frank wants to stop by the fudge
Questions
shop.
need to be answered. Will
Frank
it
wants to
tune?
stop by the fudge shop in Uranus.
I will. I'll get the sticker.
Missouri.
I'll sign the guest book. I packed fudge here.
That's right.
Freddie's dying.
I can't comment on that anymore.
Well, my big
So-
thing with flying versus driving is flying to me, I believe, is so much of a hassle. Partially because of what we talked about before the show started.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is a little bit harder to deal with. And just like the thing with, I think last week with, was it last week or the week before with Alan going through TSA with all the stuff and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
and then you have crazy people that you have to deal with. You have to deal with like the Karens on the plane and stuff like that. And you just want to turn
Yeah.
around
You know
and yell at
what?
them
Be
to
honest.
to shut up.
I have yet to see a major Karen on an airplane. I have yet to see a major incident. However, Jason and I were on a flight that had to make an emergency landing and descended really fast, which was really fun.
That woke you up.
Yeah, someone on the plane had a medical issue
Ah.
where we needed to land, where they're literally
Yeah.
giving them CPR the whole way down.
Oh,
Ooh,
dang.
yeah.
Got
Jeez.
dinner
Was
in
there
or
was there a doctor or an actual medical
There was a nurse on board.
nurse on the
If
that
they
was
called like another time, I am CPR certified and can do all that. But I passed it on to someone who was more qualified than me.
well, that's fair.
But yeah, other than that, no. I had planes late. I'd never seen like a Karen throwing a fit at the gate or on the plane.
Depends on how often you fly. Because if you don't fly that often, like once a year, you probably won't see it.
Yeah. You know,
But
my
again,
flight.
there's more bad things get publicized than good things, so you'll
Yes,
tend to hear about
sure.
them more often. So
Yeah.
That's for
My
sure.
my flight down. I got to the airport, zipped right through, didn't have a problem. The yeah, I take a whole bag of tech with me, and it got inspected. Not a big deal. I mean, the only thing the guy did was look at my Denko 5.5 amp hour battery with that sticker that I remind everybody to put on there, and looked it over, gave it a once over, and
it looked pretty sus. Come on now,
yeah,
big cells, a wire
so,
coming out.
so I didn't have the prison edition one with me. I had the normal one, but the point was is that it really wasn't that big of a deal. Indianapolis is not a huge airport. I mean, it's got two giant terminals, so about 55 or 60 gates. So Tampa was not bad. Didn't even get my bag inspected. I mean, I got through pretty easily, although I think Indianapolis has got some much newer, nicer scanners than some of the other airports. That
I-
might have had something to do with it.
I did a thing for the first time at the airports.
What'd you do?
I got PSA pre-check.
Oh,
Oh,
isn't that
yeah.
nice?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
literally right on through. Didn't take anything out, which is fine. But the normal scanners, they're starting to upgrade where you don't have to do that anymore too. But I think they literally just don't care on the pre-check because stuff that got through others like complete scanners that they will pull out and like what's this still in the bag and they did not check it.
So the guy told me, he said the only thing that he couldn't, when he was looking for the batteries, because he couldn't see it through the scanner. That was the only reason. Fine. Okay. Fair enough. And that might have just been, the story that they tell to smooth the situation over. And I could care less. I mean, whatever. As long as I don't have to drop my pants and get inspected, I'm fine with that at TSA.
It's always problematic.
Yeah, and the flight back from Tampa was quick. Oddly enough, that's the first two flights I've taken on Southwest in the last couple of years that hasn't been completely packed. So that was kind of nice to not have to have somebody sitting, right next to me. Um, but yeah, it was fun. Didn't mind it. And we do have Dayton coming up. Is the other Ham
Dayton,
Fest that's coming in here pretty soon. It's gonna be coming
Dayton,
quick too.
Dayton has talking about the Hamfest coming up, a active kid area which I want to get on film this year, where they're going to have tables with circuitry and soldering stations to
Awesome.
explain what's going on. I know of it, but I don't think it's been to that extent. Um, so I'm looking forward to that here in Dayton. I can't wait to do an interview on it.
So Huntsville had a big STEM area at the Ham Fest, not ham radio with kids, but a kids STEM area
They
with
called it the
robotics and
Youth Lounge.
yes, and
Yep.
I think that was cool because I think that's what really drives a lot of people. It's not the ham radio, and we joke it's not your grandpa's ham radio anymore. I don't think these kids want to sit around and listen to club meetings and have to deal with this stereotypical crap of ham radio. They want to have fun. They want to
Yeah.
drive. And that's why I enjoy the program that Steve Goodgame's doing with the Teachers Institute, because it's really about electronics. It's about science. It's about physics. It's about everything
cool.
else. And amateur radio just happens to be a way for you to practically express that, in a way that they can put their hands on it, they can see it. Well, they can do it with robotics too, and they can do it with other avenues. And youth, kids, they eat this stuff up. It isn't necessarily about trying to emulate what we've been doing for the last 100 years in amateur radio. It's about that. What's the next thing? And that's really been the drive for this channel, is to start finding people like that in this hobby that are doing the next thing, not doing what everybody else is doing, but getting out and doing these things. Freddie Mac, you've been doing great stuff with the All-Star Link, and as Mike is Poda Papa Poda, you're Big Daddy ASL. I think that's what I'm going to start calling it. It's going to be your new Twitter handle, by the way, Big Daddy ASL.
Well, I tell you what, when you're passionate about something, it's hard not to share it with others. And that's why I really didn't have a whole lot of interest in POTA until I started the YouTube channel and started hanging out with you guys. And then I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. And it was the most freeing thing I have ever done, especially if I do it by myself. And I went with some friends, and we activated parks together, and that's all good, fine, and wonderful. But I've hit a few parks by myself. I didn't have to go anywhere else that day. And it's you and the radio and the whole world on the other side of the microphone. It is totally liberating, in my opinion. It's challenging. It's great.
A guy with a fishing pole that will stare at your line and say, "Yes, that's a line in the tree," and then walk through it with a fishing pole and knock everything down.
Absolutely.
Ask me how I know.
So John mentions here. He says he doesn't have a club. YouTubers and VE teams are my club. And John, I think you're absolutely right. This next generation of ham radio, YouTube is the classroom. It really is today's modern day classroom where people come to learn about this. And I'm not knocking clubs, but I don't really like clubs, and because a lot of times it's just people that don't have the same interests as me, and so I really like the YouTube, and I'm always looking for new things. I'm always looking for new uh, content, I guess.
Yes.
People that are doing new things, new content creators. I mean, there's a ton of people every day. I stumble across a new ham radio channel, and
Yep.
some of them are all in various different aspects of their content creation journey. right? So some of them are really good at it, some are not. Some are like me, which I'm like, hey, let's have some fun and make a video, and I'm going to learn along the way because I see content creation as yet another hobby that I enjoy doing because I can study it, analyze it, and do those things. So there's a kind of a scientific aspect to that with me too. So what do you think about that, Freddie?
The process to me of making a video, I'm thinking, okay, I want to do a video about this, and I don't really know that much about it, so I do some research, and then I shoot the video, and I find myself learning more, not necessarily from myself, but from the experience, because yeah, I've got I've got a ton of video out there that I've never published, because it's like, oh crap, I can do this way better, or somebody jump in and say, hey, think about this. Case in point, Jory Pratt, W5GLE, a guy I've recently met up with on our Discord server. He's a heck of a Linux guy, and he gives me that other point of view that I didn't have before. And boom, I'm learning something new, and now I get to share it with everybody else. And that experience to me is why I got into YouTube. YouTube is the
Absolutely.
world's classroom.
What do you think about that, Frank?
I enjoy all the new YouTubers out there. It's just a different
Yeah.
take on our hobby. And they're going to
Yeah.
cover something that is different. They're going to put their own spin or thumbprint on it. And I like that. There's a lot of newer YLs that are doing
It really is. I'm
channels.
noticing that too.
I talked to like 3 or 4 of them, and I interviewed 2 of them. I've forgotten the others when I did my Hamfest question this year, and I got their perspective. And if you watch the whole video, I got Smart Jason's wife on there.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yes, you
Uh,
did.
Patient.
You interviewed Julie also, right?
yes, the Poto
Julie from
Power.
Photo Power. Yes.
Yeah, Poto Power's on
Okay.
there.
Yes.
And or something overpower. I read it first at overland. I was like, no, that's not it. It's overpower, overload. That's it. But yeah, the ham question this year is
Oh, Jamie. Jamie. Her name is Jamie. Also, that's with Dan.
mhm.
I believe that girlfriend, wife, spouse.
You're speculating.
Significant other.
I don't. I don't know, and I don't want to. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Amen to
The
that.
two
Significant other. We'll just go there. We'll
Yeah.
call it that.
I dropped the link in the channel for it. The ham question
Yes.
this year was, what is the mistake you learned the most in amateur radio?
Cool.
Awesome.
Ooh,
And
Great.
got a
List.
lot of good answers. They were all over the place.
that's good.
Cool. Hey, so we've got a few minutes here to wrap up. Josh, I believe, has got the Ham Nation on tonight, so make sure you go and check that out here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say that. Jeff. So, any parting thoughts or anything before we get out of
While
here?
we were talking about like the clubs versus YouTube and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I've been part of 2 clubs where during their meetings, the older people, well, the majority of them are older than me anyway. The older people have, I wouldn't say violent, but very heated debates, screaming matches about procedures and like the club's constitution and bylaws and all that stuff. And I think that kind of behavior pushes out people from the clubs because to tell you the truth, if I was physically at these, one I saw on video, on a Zoom video, the other one I skipped out on, I would have stepped up and just yelled at everyone to STFU.
Yeah. Too long. Didn't
That
read.
kind of behavior over stupid rules and regulations that your club operates by that you want to change is ridiculous. You're trying to make things better for the club, making things more easier to deal with. But no, you want to stick to like your bylaws from fucking, 75 years ago.
Somebody get the swear jar out. Who's got the swear jar?
I missed
Freddie,
the
you got
but I missed it. Dad, give it up.
Freddie, do you have the swear jar
This
over
is
there
all mine
with you?
from earlier.
Jeff-
But
Jeff's like I'm buying credits.
but people don't want to deal with that kind of thing in
You're-
clubs. I don't
you're
want
right.
to deal with that kind of behavior in clubs. So I kind of I don't want to be part of clubs. Like I'm part of another club now that I've been a member for a year, and there have been things that really tick me off, but I almost quit. I probably should, but I'm kind of sticking with it for a bit. But YouTube, I think YouTube, there's just more variety of people on there, different subjects that people will gladly go search for and find and watch the videos. Like, how do I set up an antenna? How do I use a nano VNA or whatever? There's just loads of that kind of information on YouTube. How to build a battery box, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's more open and friendly than most clubs, because most clubs, and I know this from recent experiences with a new ham radio operator and being on the repeaters, there's a lot of people that like to give information that's incorrect, and people that really don't know what they're talking about stuff. And it can be kind of frustrating. I just kind of sit back and listen sometimes and shake my head, and sometimes I'll interject and with like the correct information. But it's I think going to a younger group of people, like people on YouTube, not everyone's going to be young. There are some older ham YouTubers out there too. That it's a more friendly environment, I believe, than clubs.
So I'm going to say this, and obviously we joke. This is the Ham Radio Kids table, right? I don't think any of us are kids, but the point is it's not about your physical age; it's about your state of mind, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be resigned to being a curmudgeon or a grumpy fart or not, somebody that's willing to listen or
compromise,
understand that there's 10 different ways to skin a cat,
mm-hmm.
and how people do something. I mean, you'll see it. Somebody will put a project out or do something, and you get them in the chat, right? A video. You'll get these people in the chat that want to ham-splain things to you and tell you you're wrong and all this other stuff. And that's those are the people that I don't want to have at the kids table, right? We'll send them back to the adults table. I want people that are here to
boot them out of the house,
get to experiment and have fun at it. And you know what? If they fail, they fail. They hopefully will learn something. They'll reevaluate. They'll try it again. So, hey guys, we are wrapping up here. We just got a couple seconds left. Any last minute quick before I switch us over to the outro?
Find something about ham radio you haven't tried before. Try it once. If it's not for you, walk away. But you might find something.
There you go. That's good.
There you go. Awesome. All right. Well, with that, we'll kick everybody over to Ham Nation. Thank you for stopping by and spending this Wednesday evening with us. Goodbye, everybody. 73.
Tank Radio. Yeah!